Could I actually sell Erling Haaland with his potential injury to Mohamed Salah in the next few weeks of FPL? We're going to cover that as well as my transfer plans and full chip strategy for the coming weeks of FPL, where I plan to use 3 chips in 3 consecutive game weeks. So, let's get into this. Welcome back to the FPL Mogs YouTube channel and welcome to today's transfer plans video. If you're brand new around here, go ahead and subscribe and don't forget to like the video as well. It'll take you 2 seconds to do. It's one of the best ways to support my channel. Let's see if we can hit 20 likes on today's video. We're still currently within game week 26 in FPL, and of course I, amongst many other managers, have activated my triple captain for the game week. I had it on Gabriel, and of course a lot of us were extremely disappointed with the Brentford result. And in fact, honestly quite lucky. I think Gabriel should have been sent off within that fixture. Now, it wouldn't matter too much in the grand scheme of things with FPL because he would have served his ban against Wigan in that particular cup match. But overall, 3 points to start things off for Gabriel. So far on 9 points total with the triple captain. It's not fantastic, but I think within this Wolves fixture that is to come for Arsenal, he should make up with maybe a clean sheet, a potential defensive contributions, although I feel like that's very unlikely against a Wolves side. I think he will end up roughly at the end of game week 26 on 9 or 10 points. Anything more is a huge bonus. I'll be honestly quite happy if he reaches 10 points, get me a total of 30 with the triple captain. Now, triple captain for this week, obviously it hasn't went as well as we all hoped it would have, but in the grand scheme of things with my chip strategy going forward, triple captain was actually the most optimal time this week for me and my squad. If you still have your triple captain available for yourself and your side, I think there could be an even better opportunity with the likes of a Mohamed Salah if he has his double in game week 33. And we'll get more into the details of that as we get further through the video. In terms of the rest of the squad, Virgil van Dijk, an unbelievable performance from him. 17 points. I get told every single week on live streams, Virgil van Dijk is terrible, Liverpool are crap, get rid of him. And he does this, and I just can't. I cannot get rid of him. He's brilliant on his day. And yes, it was against my side, Sunderland, and it did really break my heart that we lost our unbeaten at home record to them. But yeah, you've got to give it to Van Dijk. 17 points, amazing. The rest of the squad overall was quite disappointing. Enzo, Bruno, Evan Nielsen, Thiago all blanking. It was only really João Gomez and Anderson who came away with something in their respective games. They actually played against each other. João Gomez was a really interesting one, actually. He hit DEFCONs in the first half. 20 total for the 90 minutes played, but that's just ridiculous. Absolutely insane. Of course, yes plays Arsenal next. I do suspect he should get DEFCONs within that match. It depends how Arsenal are going to be playing, though. I think they'll be more conserved and hold the ball within possession a lot more, and that might make it difficult, for Wolves to actually go ahead and get those defensive contributions. I think a really big positive for my side still currently within game week 26 is the amount of double game week players I have. Now, I know a lot of managers watching this video, a lot of active managers out there who are really trying to do their best at FPL will have triple Arsenal. At least triple Arsenal. Some will of course have double, but I have 4 double game week players. Yes, it includes a Wolves player, but those extra few points really do add up. And of course, João Gomez, a massive differential, already having 5 points. He could easily end up on 9 points for the game week if he gets past 60 minutes and gets his defensive contributions. That would be a ridiculously good thing from a Wolves player. But the main focus now is seeing if Gabriel can come away with a clean sheet, help out the likes of Timber and Raya get those points up, and we pray to God that Declan Rice doesn't do anything either. But so far, so good for game week 26. Hopefully, we can end near enough that 300k mark, if not in the top 300k. It's going to be a hard task, but let's see if we can do it. We'll move now, though, to my transfer plans, where Erling Haaland could potentially leave the squad in the next few weeks of FPL. Let's take a look now at game week 27 as well as my chip strategy for the up and coming weeks of FPL. And it's likely that I use 3 chips within 3 consecutive weeks of FPL. And I'm going to explain that fully in the next section here. We're going to first cover some problems with the side this week. Now, I think the main one we all want to focus on and have an idea if he's actually fit is Erling Haaland. I mean, he's flagged currently in FPL. We've heard he's got a few niggles from Pep Guardiola. It doesn't seem the greatest news, of course, right now. He's got some okay fixtures coming up, and he is likely to blank in game week 31. So if we do get the news within the next couple of days that Haaland actually might miss a few weeks of FPL, it's likely we look to sell him. Now, what's so interesting about this is Mohamed Salah has had what seems like an uptick in performances recently. Liverpool just look that little bit better, as well as Mohamed Salah. Selling Haaland to fund Mohamed Salah seems like a really decent move if that is the possibility that, Erling Haaland is out for a few weeks. I personally think he'll be okay, but it is in the back of my mind to make that move anyway. Haaland isn't exactly firing away, and Liverpool have a really good stretch of fixtures coming up, are on the uptick in terms of attacking data. So for me, that could be a possible move there, actually selling Erling Haaland this week. Another thing we need to slightly consider with my side this week is Tavernier. Is he going to be back this week? Is he going to be back next? Do I just sell him? He's kind of just a dead spot on the team at the moment. We're currently starting João Gomez, and yes, against a Palace side that are struggling at the moment, but we're not really going to be wanting to start him every single week. For DEFCONs, he's absolutely ridiculous, similar to Anderson in that vein of conversation, but for me, I don't want him to be starting every single week for me. I need Tavernier back in there on pens, 90 minutes for Bournemouth. That'll be fantastic to have back. But right now, it's not the reality of the situation. Captain, of course, on Bruno Fernandes currently. But overall, the squad looks good enough just to roll the transfers. And of course, to dead end into game week 31. Now, here is where the chip strategy comes into play. Now, as you mostly all know, I am partnered with Night Managers this season, and this is what I receive every single game week, an algorithm-optimized strategy for my FPL team, week in, week out. They are absolutely fantastic. This is the one from game week 26, and what they suggested to do with my side. And of course, the most important thing that I want to cover with this is actually the chip strategy at the bottom. Now, of course, if you're interested in having your team optimized by a top performing algorithm every single game week, head into the description, use code FPLMOGS and get yourself 2 free weeks of Night Manager services. But this is what I want to focus on. Triple captain in game week 26. That has been activated. That's done. The next section, wildcard 32, bench boost 33, free hit in 34. This is a really nice chip strategy in my eyes. We're going to focus a little bit more on it here with some projected fixtures to make you kind of understand why I could be doing this chip strategy. 3 chips in 3 consecutive weeks. Firstly, we head into the idea we are just going to dead end our team into 31. Now, I think it's very manageable to do so. If we save transfers, we can remove players from Arsenal. We can look to remove any Wolves players we have in the squad because, some of us do have them for this double. And it is likely that City and Palace could blank as well within game week 31. We are then going to set ourselves up for a bench boost in 33, which is going to be a pretty large double by the looks of it, by having a wild card in game week 32. Now, what that'll allow us to do with the 33 bench boost is have most of our squad with double game week fixtures, which will be insanely powerful for the biggest double we're likely to get this season. Now, in that same vein of conversation, game week 34 will be a really large blank game week in which we would use our free hit to kind of save our team a little bit. We'd be targeting sort of Aston Villa assets, Bournemouth assets, looking at some Everton as as well as maybe potentially Wolves assets. They're playing Spurs, and Spurs aren't looking great at the moment, although they are under a new manager. So perhaps we do go with Spurs assets for that game week. Manchester United, not a bad fixture against Brentford. We'll have sort of 3 chips in 3 weeks. 32 wildcard, 33 bench boost, 34 free hit. And it takes us, of course, all the way till the end of the season. We will potentially have a double game week in 36, although it seems unlikely at this current point in time. But that's sort of a rough view of my chip strategy currently. It's what night managers are suggesting as well. Again, if you want to check them out, 2 free weeks in the description if you use code FPLMOGS. Just a quick callback to how we're planning to set up for game week 27 and some of the moves I could potentially make. Firstly, potentially selling Erling Haaland and getting in Mohamed Salah. That could be it's a slight consideration for a move right now, but at the moment quite unlikely with the amount of unknowns with Haaland's situation. Captain Bruno Fernandes, and hopefully we hear some news about Marcus Tavernier, who is sat on my bench with a red flag. But let me know what you're doing, guys, for game week 27 in the comments of this video. Just a quick outro to today's video. Of course, if you enjoyed it, make sure you drop a like. And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, go ahead and click that sub button for future FPL content and FPL streams. But that is everything for today's video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.